Who's this guy?
This is Carson. He's about 5 weeks old. Newest Squirrels fan.
Newest squirrel. Now, you're a former squirrel.
I am a former squirrel.
What do you think of this Latched Mama's nursing nest?
This is awesome. They did way above and beyond. Better than I could have ever thought.
Does a place like this, as a new mother, does a place like this kind of entice you to say, hey, maybe I'll have a place to go at a public event?
Yeah, so one of the biggest challenges with these little guys is planning out to get out of the house.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest things because you have to plan around when they're going to eat and then you get them in there. It's really nice knowing that I was going to come to a lot of Squirrels games, that's not a challenge at all. The biggest thing I think is having like a quiet little retreat to go to, because when you're out there with almost 10,000 people, you're not going to be able to nurse well. Yeah. So it's nice to have this beautiful room to come to.
Now, you've been around minor league baseball quite a while. Clearly, the mother makes a decision, the moms make the decision to come out to a game, usually for the family.
Right.
Don't you think this helps the Flying Squirrels and families come out and have a good time?
Yeah, you know, it's something that's probably really overdue, and shame on us for not thinking of it ourselves many years ago, and someone else had to come and think of it for us, but I'm glad we had the area and we were able to accommodate. But, you know, we're always espousing family entertainment, and last surveys I saw, I think 52% of our fans are female. So it's very important part of what we do here, and I'm glad we were able to do that.
Some fans might not know this, but this wasn't always the team store, was it?
No, Jay, when we arrived here in the summer of 2009 to assess the stadium and see if we really wanted to move the Norwich Navigators to Richmond, we did a walkthrough of the entire stadium, and then we came into this area. And we learned quickly that it used to be a restaurant. Yeah. And it was a three-tiered restaurant. We're on the first tier, and then the second tier, and then there's a third tier that was a bar. And we assessed immediately, at least I did, that this should be the team store, because up until then, they had a shed at the top of the steps, and it was much too small.
And we left a little nook sort of untapped until now for the Latched Mama's nursing nest. How cool is this? I mean, you actually consult for a lot of different teams, a lot of different ballparks. Right. Does any other team have something like this?
I have not seen anything like this. And it's perfect because there was a men's and women's room that were there because of the restaurant use prior, and they just kind of got forgotten back there. Yeah. And now, you know, we're able to repurpose it, and I love what we do here at the stadium. It's one of my favorite parts of what I do in this industry is repurposing areas or just making areas out of almost thin air. Right. And this is great that we've been able to do that here.
We had a couple of moms reach out to us last summer, just kind of as nursing people in RVA, and they basically said to us, hey, we love the Squirrels, we love coming out with our families, but at the end of the day, we really, really don't want to nurse or pump in a bathroom or a first aid tent or something like that.
I think this is the nicest thing I've ever seen in a ballpark, by the way. What do we have here for some of the kids to do and for some of the parents to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a one kind of meeting room that has enough room for probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 moms to come in. There's an outlet at each station for charging phones, absolutely, important. For also pumping, which is something that can kind of sometimes be awkward in a public setting. And then we also have a toddler table because sometimes moms have more than one kid. So, and we have some fun coloring sheets, some awesome squirrel crayons that came from Etsy. There is water in the mini fridge, and the mini fridge is there for any pumping moms who want to just leave their milk and come back and get it at the end of the game. There's also a gorgeous redone bathroom with a changing table. There's diapers and wipes in there as well. And then for the moms who want a little bit more privacy, or the moms that have the toddler that maybe has had a little bit too much Italian ice or something like that at the game that's kind of not sitting still in this area, there's an actually separate nursing room as well.
Does something like this entice moms, new moms, moms that have, you know, with children that are even a year or two old? Does this entice somebody to come to a game?
Yeah, and I think it does even more than that. I think when you create a space like this, you're saying, hey, you know what? We are committed to welcoming all of our fans, whether it's the little infants or whether it's the 2-year-olds or the 3-year-olds or whether it's the moms that used to go to the ballpark with their young kids, but now see that you guys have created this space and that we've, you know, together created something so beautiful that they feel appreciated and they feel like, more committed to the brand and more committed to the Squirrels.
Now, this stems from a larger mission that you
Yeah,
had,
absolutely.
which is the Latched Mama brand. Can you tell us a little about
Yeah,
what
so
that is?
we're an e-commerce store and we have a very, very large online community. And we have people reach out to us a lot in terms of like where they're feeling discriminated against or where they're feeling like they're not quite being supported. And a lot of times we just, give them some resources and send them on their way. When it's local moms, we kind of react a little bit differently. There was one thing that I believe you guys call him Ruckman around here, but Steve told me in our first meeting, he said, "We know we have an old ballpark, but our fans should not have to suffer."
Yeah.
And that was the coolest thing.
Are we safe to say this is the coolest nursing space in professional baseball?
No. Top 5. We were definitely top 5. Pampers put in a nursing suite at the Red Stadium, which we can't touch. It's Pampers, for crying out loud. And Lanasau, which is a pumping breastfeeding company, has a great one up at National Stadium. We are top 5 in Major League by far,
we'll take
if not top 3. So minor league,
number 1.
by far.